Hello, I'm Barbara O'Neill, and what I'm about to share with you today could be the difference between walking independently in your 70s and 80s or relying on a walker or wheelchair. After working with thousands of patients over 60, I've discovered something that most doctors won't tell you: the weakness you're feeling in your legs, the difficulty climbing stairs, the loss of balance, the muscle wasting. Most of this isn't just about aging. It's about what you're eating every single day. Your legs are losing strength right now, at this very moment, and 7 specific foods are primarily responsible. These foods are silently destroying your muscle tissue, depleting your energy reserves, causing inflammation in your joints, and weakening your bones. And the tragic part is that you're probably eating at least 3 or 4 of these foods every single day, thinking they're harmless or even healthy. I need you to understand something critical before we continue. After 60, your body changes dramatically. Your ability to build and maintain muscle decreases by up to 8% per decade. This condition is called sarcopenia, and it's one of the main reasons older adults lose their independence. But here's what the medical establishment doesn't emphasize enough: sarcopenia isn't inevitable. It's not a natural part of aging that you just have to accept. The foods you eat either accelerate this muscle loss or help prevent it. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly which foods are stealing your leg strength and what you need to do about it immediately. Let me start with the first food that's destroying your leg muscles, and this one will surprise many of you because it's been marketed as healthy for decades. I'm talking about breakfast cereals and granola. Yes, those convenient boxes of cereal sitting in your pantry right now are one of the worst things you can eat for your leg strength after 60. These products are loaded with refined carbohydrates and added sugars that cause massive spikes in your blood glucose levels. When your blood sugar spikes repeatedly throughout the day, your body enters a state of chronic inflammation. This inflammation directly attacks your muscle tissue. But there's something even worse happening. The high sugar content in these cereals causes a process called protein glycation, where sugar molecules bind to the proteins in your muscles, making them stiff, weak, and unable to function properly. Your leg muscles need flexible, functional proteins to contract and support your weight. When these proteins become glycated, you literally lose strength with every bowl of cereal you eat. I've seen patients in my practice who complained of weak, tired legs, difficulty standing from a seated position, and inability to walk for more than a few minutes. When we examined their diets, almost all of them were eating cereal for breakfast. Within weeks of eliminating this single food and replacing it with a protein-rich breakfast, they reported significant improvements in their leg strength and stamina. The transformation was remarkable, and it happened faster than they ever expected. The second food destroying your leg strength is one that might be in your refrigerator right now, something you've been told is essential for strong bones. I'm talking about conventional fruit juice, including orange juice. Many of my patients tell me they drink juice every morning thinking they're doing something healthy. But here's the truth: fruit juice is essentially liquid sugar with a few vitamins thrown in. When you juice a fruit, you remove all the fiber that would normally slow down sugar absorption. What you're left with is a sugar bomb that floods your bloodstream. This matters tremendously for your leg strength because rapid blood sugar spikes followed by crashes cause your body to release cortisol, your stress hormone. Elevated cortisol breaks down muscle tissue for energy. Every time you drink a glass of juice, you're literally signaling your body to cannibalize your own muscles, including the precious muscle tissue in your legs that keeps you mobile and independent. Over months and years, this daily juice habit contributes to significant muscle wasting. But there's another problem with fruit juice that directly impacts your legs. The high fructose content in juice is metabolized by your liver and converted to fat. This fat doesn't just accumulate around your waist, it infiltrates your muscle tissue, a condition called myosteatosis or fatty infiltration of muscle. When your leg muscles become infiltrated with fat, they lose their ability to generate force. You might look at your legs and think they're a normal size, but inside, the muscle fibers are being replaced with fat tissue that can't support your weight or help you move. This is why so many people over 60 struggle to stand up from a chair or climb stairs even when their legs don't look particularly thin. The third food on my list is something that appears in almost every processed food in the supermarket, and it's one of the most insidious destroyers of muscle tissue. I'm talking about vegetable oils, particularly soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, and sunflower oil. These oils are in salad dressings, mayonnaise, crackers, cookies, frozen meals, restaurant food, and countless other products. The problem with these oils is that they're extraordinarily high in omega-6 fatty acids and have been processed at high temperatures that create oxidized, rancid fats. These oxidized fats cause massive inflammation throughout your body, and your muscles bear the brunt of this inflammatory assault. When inflammation is chronic, as it is when you consume these oils daily, your body cannot properly synthesize new muscle protein. This is called impaired muscle protein synthesis, and it's one of the primary drivers of age-related muscle loss. I've measured inflammation markers in my patients, and those who cook with vegetable oils or eat foods containing these oils consistently show elevated C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and other inflammatory markers. When we transition them to healthier fats like olive oil, coconut oil, and butter from grass-fed animals, their inflammation levels drop dramatically within just a few weeks, and they report feeling stronger and more capable of physical activity. But the damage from vegetable oils goes even deeper. These oils interfere with your mitochondria, the energy factories inside every cell of your body. Your leg muscles have enormous energy demands because they're large muscles that need to support your entire body weight and move you through space. When your mitochondria are damaged by oxidized vegetable oils, your muscles literally run out of energy. This is why climbing a flight of stairs feels exhausting or why your legs feel heavy and tired after just a short walk. It's not necessarily that your muscles are weak, they're energy depleted because the fuel systems inside your cells have been damaged. The fourth food that's stealing your leg strength is white bread and all products made with refined white flour, including pasta, crackers, bagels, muffins, and most baked goods. I cannot overstate how destructive these foods are for maintaining muscle mass after 60. White flour is pure starch with all the fiber, vitamins, and minerals removed. Your body treats it exactly like sugar. When you eat white bread, your blood sugar skyrockets, your pancreas releases a huge amount of insulin to bring that sugar down, and this insulin surge has a devastating effect on your muscles. While insulin is necessary for building muscle when you're young and active, after 60, chronic high insulin from eating refined carbohydrates actually promotes muscle breakdown and prevents muscle repair. Insulin resistance, which almost all people over 60 have to some degree, means your muscles can't properly absorb the amino acids they need to maintain and rebuild themselves. I've worked with patients who were eating sandwiches for lunch, pasta for dinner, and toast for breakfast every single day. Their legs were progressively getting weaker, they were losing balance, and they were terrified of falling. When we eliminated these refined flour products and replaced them with whole food carbohydrates like sweet potatoes, quinoa, and vegetables, the change was nothing short of miraculous. Within a month, they could feel their legs getting stronger. Within 3 months, they were walking longer distances, climbing stairs with confidence, and some even started exercising again. The fifth food destroying your leg muscles is one that many people rely on for quick energy, especially in the afternoon. I'm talking about energy bars, protein bars, and nutrition bars. I know this seems counterintuitive because these products are marketed as healthy, fitness-oriented foods. But I need you to read the ingredient labels. Almost all of these bars are loaded with sugar or artificial sweeteners, processed soy protein, vegetable oils, and synthetic additives. The processed soy protein in many of these bars is particularly problematic for maintaining muscle after 60. Soy contains compounds called phytoestrogens that can interfere with your hormonal balance. After 60, both men and women have declining levels of anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone that are critical for maintaining muscle mass. When you consume large amounts of processed soy, you're further disrupting this delicate hormonal balance, making it even harder for your body to preserve the muscle in your legs. But perhaps the most concerning aspect of these bars is what I call the substitution effect. When you eat a bar instead of real food, you're missing out on the complete nutrition your muscles desperately need. Your leg muscles require not just protein, but also a full spectrum of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients to function properly. They need magnesium for muscle contraction, potassium for nerve signaling, vitamin D for muscle fiber integrity, B vitamins for energy metabolism, and zinc for protein synthesis. A processed bar simply cannot provide this complete nutritional package, no matter what the label claims. The sixth food on my list is something that millions of people over 60 consume daily, believing it's helping their health. I'm talking about low-fat and fat-free dairy products, including skim milk, low-fat yogurt, and reduced-fat cheese. The low-fat diet movement that started in the 1980s has caused tremendous damage to the health of older adults, and the loss of leg strength is one of the most visible consequences. Here's what you need to understand: fat is absolutely essential for maintaining muscle mass. The cell membranes of your muscle cells are made of fat. The hormones that signal muscle growth and repair are made from cholesterol and fat. When you consistently consume low-fat dairy products, you're depriving your body of these essential building blocks. But the problem goes much further than that. To make dairy products taste good after removing the fat, manufacturers add sugar, artificial flavors, and thickeners. A container of low-fat flavored yogurt often contains more sugar than a candy bar. So not only are you missing out on the beneficial fats your muscles need, you're also spiking your blood sugar and causing all the problems I discussed earlier, including inflammation, cortisol release, and muscle breakdown. I've had countless patients tell me they switched to low-fat dairy because their doctor told them it would help with weight loss or cholesterol. But what actually happened is they got weaker, their legs felt unstable, and they lost muscle mass. When we transitioned them back to full-fat dairy products, preferably from grass-fed animals, or in some cases eliminated dairy altogether and replaced it with other healthy fats, their strength returned. The difference was visible and measurable. The seventh and final food that's destroying your leg strength is one that's become ubiquitous in modern diets, and it's particularly dangerous for people over 60. I'm talking about diet sodas and beverages containing artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin. Many of my patients switched to diet drinks thinking they were making a healthier choice by avoiding sugar. But the research is absolutely clear: artificial sweeteners may be even more damaging to your muscles than sugar itself. Artificial sweeteners disrupt your gut microbiome, the community of beneficial bacteria in your intestines that's essential for nutrient absorption and overall health. A damaged gut microbiome means you cannot properly absorb the protein, vitamins, and minerals your leg muscles need to stay strong. You could be eating a perfect diet, but if your gut is damaged by daily consumption of artificial sweeteners, those nutrients simply pass through your system without being absorbed. But there's an even more direct mechanism by which artificial sweeteners destroy muscle. Recent research has shown that these chemicals interfere with the neuromuscular junction, the connection point between your nerves and your muscles. When this connection is disrupted, the signals from your brain telling your muscles to contract become weaker and less efficient. This is why many people who consume diet sodas regularly report that their legs feel weak, shaky, or uncoordinated. It's not just muscle loss, it's actual nerve-muscle communication breakdown. I've seen patients who were drinking 3, 4, or even 5 diet sodas per day. They complained of leg weakness, frequent muscle cramps, and a sensation that their legs were giving out unexpectedly. When we eliminated all artificial sweeteners from their diet, many reported improvement within days. The muscle cramps stopped, the weakness diminished, and they felt more secure on their feet. This is one of the fastest improvements I see when patients make dietary changes. Now that I've explained these 7 foods that are destroying your leg strength, I want to paint a clear picture of what's happening in your body when you consume them regularly. Your leg muscles are composed of individual muscle fibers bundled together. After 60, you naturally lose muscle fibers through a process called apoptosis, or programmed cell death. This is normal and happens to everyone. However, the rate at which you lose these muscle fibers is dramatically influenced by your diet. When you eat the foods I've described, you accelerate muscle fiber loss through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. The inflammation from vegetable oils and refined carbohydrates signals your body to break down muscle tissue. The blood sugar spikes from cereals, juice, and white bread trigger insulin surges that prevent muscle repair. The artificial sweeteners damage your gut and nervous system. The low-fat dairy deprives you of essential building blocks. All of these factors converge to create a perfect storm of muscle loss. But muscle loss is only part of the equation. Your bones are also being affected. The same inflammatory processes that destroy muscle also accelerate bone loss. Weak muscles and weak bones together create a dangerous situation where falls become more likely and more serious. This is why diet is so fundamentally important for maintaining your independence after 60. It's not just about muscle or just about bones, it's about the entire musculoskeletal system that keeps you upright, mobile, and independent. The good news, and I cannot emphasize this enough, is that this process is reversible. I've worked with patients in their 70s and 80s who have successfully rebuilt significant muscle mass and strength in their legs. It's not too late for you, no matter your current age or condition. But you must make changes starting right now, today, with your very next meal. Let me tell you what you should be eating instead of these 7 destructive foods. Your leg muscles need high-quality protein at every meal. I'm talking about eggs, wild-caught fish, grass-fed meat, organic poultry, and if you tolerate them well, properly prepared legumes. Your muscles are made of protein, and after 60, you need more protein than you did when you were younger, not less as many people mistakenly believe. You need healthy fats from sources like avocados, olive oil, coconut oil, butter from grass-fed cows, nuts, and seeds. These fats provide the building blocks for cell membranes and hormones, and they help reduce the inflammation that's destroying your muscle tissue. Don't fear fat, embrace it as essential medicine for your muscles. You need colorful vegetables in abundance, especially dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and collard greens. These are packed with magnesium, which is critical for muscle contraction, and vitamin K, which helps prevent the calcification of soft tissues while strengthening bones. You need root vegetables like sweet potatoes and beets that provide sustained energy without the blood sugar spikes of refined carbohydrates. You need bone broth, which provides collagen and gelatin that support not just your bones and joints but also your muscle connective tissue. I've seen remarkable improvements in patients who add bone broth to their daily routine. Their leg strength improves, their joints feel better, and they move with greater ease and confidence. Let me give you a practical example of what a day of eating for leg strength looks like. For breakfast, instead of cereal and juice, have 3 eggs cooked in butter or coconut oil, with sautéed spinach and half an avocado. This meal provides complete protein, healthy fats, and nutrients that support muscle synthesis. You'll feel satisfied for hours, your blood sugar will remain stable, and your muscles will have the raw materials they need to maintain and repair themselves. For lunch, instead of a sandwich on white bread, have a large salad with mixed greens, grilled wild-caught salmon, olive oil and lemon dressing, topped with pumpkin seeds. Add a side of roasted sweet potato. This meal delivers omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation, complex carbohydrates for sustained energy, and a variety of vitamins and minerals essential for muscle function. Between meals, instead of reaching for an energy bar or diet soda, have a handful of almonds or walnuts, a piece of fruit with almond butter, or some vegetable sticks with guacamole. Keep your body consistently fueled with real, whole foods that support rather than undermine your muscle tissue. Hydration is another critical factor that many people overlook when it comes to leg strength. Your muscles are approximately 75% water. When you're even slightly dehydrated, muscle function is impaired. Dehydration causes muscle cramps, weakness, and fatigue. After 60, your sense of thirst diminishes, so you might be chronically dehydrated without realizing it. I tell my patients to drink at least 8 glasses of pure water daily, more if they're active or it's hot outside. Not coffee, not tea, not juice, water. Your leg muscles depend on it. Now, let me address what you can expect when you eliminate these 7 foods and replace them with the nutrient-dense foods I've recommended. In the first week, you might feel worse before you feel better. This is normal and temporary. Your body is adjusting to the absence of sugar, refined carbohydrates, and other addictive substances. You might experience headaches, fatigue, or irritability. Push through. This is a sign that your body is detoxifying and recalibrating. By the second week, you'll notice your energy levels starting to stabilize. You won't experience the afternoon crashes you're used to. Your sleep might improve. Some people notice that their legs feel less heavy and tired. By week 3 or 4, you should notice measurable improvements in your leg strength. Climbing stairs becomes easier. Standing up from a chair requires less effort. You can walk farther without your legs feeling exhausted. Some patients report that chronic pain in their knees or hips begins to diminish. By 2 to 3 months, the changes can be dramatic. I've had patients who could barely walk a block without stopping who are now walking a mile or more. Patients who needed assistance getting out of a chair who can now stand up easily. Patients who had given up on exercise who have returned to activities they love like gardening, dancing, or playing with grandchildren. But you must be consistent. You cannot eat well for a few days and then return to your old habits. These 7 foods must be permanently eliminated or drastically reduced if you want to maintain your leg strength and independence. Every time you eat cereal, drink juice, consume vegetable oils, eat white bread, grab an energy bar, choose low-fat dairy, or drink diet soda, you're taking steps backward. Every time you choose real, whole, nutrient-dense foods, you're building strength and protecting your future mobility. I want to address the emotional aspect of leg weakness because this is something many people don't talk about but feel deeply. When your legs start to fail you, when you can't do the things you used to do, when you feel unsteady and afraid of falling, it affects your confidence and your sense of self. Many of my patients have told me they feel old for the first time when their legs become weak. They start avoiding social situations because they're embarrassed about their mobility limitations. They stop doing activities they love because they're afraid they won't be able to keep up. This loss of confidence and social withdrawal creates a vicious cycle. When you're less active, you lose even more muscle. When you're isolated, you're less motivated to take care of yourself. Depression and anxiety can set in. This is why addressing leg weakness through nutrition is so important. It's not just about physical strength, it's about maintaining your quality of life, your independence, your social connections, and your mental health. I've seen the transformation that happens when people regain their leg strength. They stand taller. They smile more. They make plans again. They reconnect with friends and family. They feel like themselves again. This is what motivates me to share this information so passionately. I know it's possible when you give your body the right fuel. Let me also address a common concern I hear from patients: the cost. Many people tell me that eating healthy is expensive, that they can't afford to buy high-quality meat, wild-caught fish, organic vegetables, and good fats. I understand this concern, and I want to offer some perspective. First, you don't need to buy everything organic. Focus on buying organic versions of the foods you eat most often, especially animal products and the produce items that tend to have the highest pesticide residues. For everything else, conventionally grown whole foods are still vastly superior to processed foods. Second, consider the true cost of not making these changes. How much do medications cost? How much does physical therapy cost? What about assistive devices like walkers and wheelchairs? What about the potential cost of a fall, a broken hip, hospitalization, and rehabilitation? What about the loss of independence and having to move to assisted living? When you add up these costs, spending a bit more on quality food is actually a tremendous bargain. You're investing in prevention, which is always less expensive than treatment. Third, there are ways to eat well on a budget. Buy eggs, which are one of the most affordable and nutritious foods available. Buy canned wild-caught salmon or sardines instead of fresh fish. Buy frozen vegetables, which are just as nutritious as fresh and often less expensive. Buy tougher cuts of meat and cook them slowly. Make bone broth from chicken bones. Shop at farmers markets at the end of the day when vendors are offering deals. Buy in bulk and freeze portions. With some planning and creativity, you can nourish your body well without breaking your budget. I also want to address the social aspects of changing your diet. Many of my patients worry about how their food choices will affect their relationships and social situations. What do you do when your family serves pasta? How do you handle birthday parties with cake? What about eating at restaurants with friends? My advice is this: be confident in your choices without being preachy or judgmental of others. Explain to your close family and friends that you're making these changes for your health and that you need their support. Most people who care about you will understand and accommodate your needs. Offer to bring dishes to family gatherings that you can eat. At restaurants, don't be shy about asking for modifications like substituting vegetables for bread or having your food cooked in butter instead of vegetable oil. And yes, there will be special occasions where you might choose to have a small serving of something that's not on your optimal nutrition plan. That's okay. This isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. If 90% of what you eat supports your leg strength and health, the occasional deviation won't derail your progress. The key is making sure those deviations truly are occasional, not daily or even weekly occurrences. As we come to the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this message: your leg strength is not something you have to lose as you age. The weakness, the instability, the fear of falling, the loss of independence, none of this is inevitable. Yes, aging presents challenges, but the primary driver of muscle loss and leg weakness after 60 is not age itself, it's the accumulation of poor nutritional choices, often made unknowingly because we've been given incorrect information. You now have the correct information. You know which 7 foods are destroying your leg strength: breakfast cereals and granola, fruit juice, vegetable oils, white bread and refined flour products, energy and protein bars, low-fat dairy products, and diet sodas with artificial sweeteners. You know why these foods are so damaging and what they're doing to your muscles at a cellular level. And you know what to eat instead: high-quality proteins, healthy fats, colorful vegetables, and whole food carbohydrates that nourish and strengthen your body. Your legs are your foundation. They carry you through life. They allow you to do the things you love, go the places you want to go, and maintain your independence. They deserve to be cared for with the highest quality nutrition you can provide. Don't wait until you can't climb stairs or until you've had a fall. Start strengthening your legs today through the powerful medicine of real, whole food. I believe in your ability to make these changes. I've seen thousands of people do it successfully, and you can too. Your stronger, more stable, more confident future is waiting for you. It starts with the very next food choice you make. Choose wisely. Choose strength. Choose independence. Your legs will thank you for it.